Wah, bop! Who? She cooked. Oh my God, she cooked. Now she's a hooper. All that Caitlin Clark. I was at the All-Star game. She got one of the loudest ovations. Imagine this. A rookie walks onto the court, and suddenly the whole league erupts in cheers. It's Caitlin Clark. She's breaking records left and right, but not everyone's rooting for her. Shannon Sharpe has something to say about that. And trust me, you're going to want to hear it. Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a small favor. If you appreciated this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch videos without subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you hit the subscribe button? Great. Thank you very much. Now back to the video. Think of Clark as just another overrated rookie. Rethink it. A college superstar, she's not just transitioning to the pros, she's changing the rules. How is it that one player can fill halls to capacity and boost jersey sales single-handedly? The key lies in Clark's explosive play since her emergence in the WNBA. Now let's break it down. Since the Olympic break, Clark has been incredibly productive. Her incredible numbers, 24.6 points, 5.0 rebounds and 9.0 assists per game, have led the Indiana Leafs to a 6-1 record. But that's just the beginning. In addition to the great play, Clark is making history. After scoring more than 25 points, giving up more than 10 assists, and making more than 5 three-point shots in consecutive games, she became the first rookie to do so in the WNBA and NBA. That's Hall of Fame worthy. It's not Rookie of the Year material. Still, there's more. Just 8 rookies have ever scored more than 600 points in a single season. And Clark has already joined this exclusive club. She didn't stop there either. The only rookie in history to combine that with 250 assists is her. It's uncommon to witness first-year players have this kind of influence. Yeah, she's posting stats, but is she really changing the game? You may be asking yourself at this point. Now allow me to attack you with this. The Indiana Fever has achieved a record-breaking level of attendance. For their 33 games, they will have nearly 500,000 spectators. This season's WNBA attendance has increased by around 20% overall. So that's not just a small uptick. Clark has an influence that extends beyond ticket sales. Her influence is transforming the perception of women's basketball. Legendary figure Nancy Lieberman said it best when she said, "What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational." That's not just marketing speak. It's acknowledgement from an expert in the field. The best part is that Clark isn't working on this alone. In regards to their rapport on the court, Kelsey Mitchell, another member of her squad, stated, "I think me and Caitlin just found a way to understand one another." Clark is uplifting everyone around her. This is about more than just one superstar. The spotlight uncovers a darker aspect of triumph, just as Clark achieves new heights. How could such a fantastic rookie season be marred? The solution can be found in a contentious incident that has sparked discussions outside of the basketball court. All of it began with a foul. Not just any foul, but one that sparked an intense debate. In addition to being a game-changing play, Diamond DeShields' aggressive play against Clark highlighted the dark side of sports fans and served as a lightning rod for criticism. One would expect that Clark, as a rising celebrity, would be embraced by all. This is when things get messy, so fasten your seatbelt. Unexpectedly, the incident sparked a wave of hate. We're talking about brutal assaults on Clark, threats on DeShields based on race, and a whole bunch of ugly stuff unrelated to basketball. This is where the intriguing part starts, though. Never one to hold back, Shannon Sharpe came forth with some brutal truth bombs. Some people turn into goddamn Ray Charles. When it comes to recognizing Clark's abilities, he said, criticizing the media for their unwillingness to give her the credit she deserves. I hurt. It wasn't the end for Sharpe. He brought attention to a double standard that has been there all along. It all comes down to passion and intensity when male athletes play aggressively. However, what happens when women do it? It's a problem all of a sudden. A reality check, that is. It's not just about one player or one foul here. It's about pushing back against antiquated notions in women's sports and promoting equality and respect. We need to examine closely how we handle female athletes in light of Sharpe's observations. For that conversation, are we prepared? The criticism of Clark is more than simply noise. It's a sign of a larger problem. We're following along in real time as the story of women in sports changes. It requires us to face some difficult realities and is messy and complex. The best part is that Clark's resiliency comes through despite all of the stress. She's up against more than just her opponents on the court. She's up against a lot of unjust criticism, haters, and admirers. And what's this? She remains incredibly naive. For Clark, this dispute represents more than simply a setback. It's a turning point. The way she responds to this pressure could determine the course of her career. Will she break under the pressure of criticism and expectations? Or will she triumph over everything and solidify her status as a real game changer? A voice breaks through the background noise and everyone's eyes find Clark. Why is the basketball world taking notice of her supporter, and who is standing up to defend her? And now she's in the record book once again with her 3rd assist today. She set a new single mark set by a rookie. She already held the record for the most assists in a single game, which is 19. Here comes NFL star turned sports pundit Shannon Sharpe, who is about to deliver some truth bombs that will cause you to reconsider everything you've been told about Caitlin Clark. Sharpe doesn't back down, and he's going all out for Clark. He's taking aim at anyone who attempts to minimize her abilities, including the critics and the media. His takeaway? She can play, it's okay. Easy, huh? But against all the mistrust and hatred Clark has been up against, those 5 words are like a slam dunk. But Sharpe isn't going to stop there. He's drawing comparisons between Clark and some of the greatest players in NBA history. Folks, let's talk about legends. Not only is she good, but he also claims that she is altering the rules of the game. Like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods did for their respective sports, Sharpe believes women's basketball will produce multimillionaires in the future. Take a moment to consider that. In addition to supporting Clark, Sharpe is illuminating a completely new realm for women's athletics. In his vision of the future, female athletes will receive the respect, attention, and yes, compensation that they are due. You may be asking why Sharpe's remarks are so important at this point. Ultimately, he isn't a basketball player, is he? But precisely for that reason, his backing is so potent. People pay attention and sit up when someone from outside your world defends you. Sharpe is not limited to discussing Clark's abilities on the court. He is questioning our entire conception of women in sports. The antiquated beliefs, unjust criticism, and double standards that have been preventing female athletes from succeeding for far too long are being called out by him. But here's the thing. Sharpe doesn't simply say nice things. They serve as an exhortation. She was cooking. Boy, she was cooking. She's a hooper now. Had another monster game. She had 28 points, 12 assists, and a 193 win over the Dallas Wings today. He's putting out the call to action for supporters, the media, and even fellow athletes to identify excellence when they see it, regardless of gender. He is advocating that we should quit finding reasons not to recognize and honor Clark's incredible athletic accomplishments. Sharpe's backing, meanwhile, extends beyond just standing up for Clark. He's bringing attention to women's sports in its broader context. He's talking about equality, respect, and the kind of possibilities that can encourage a whole new generation of young girls to follow their goals when he predicts a future in which female athletes can become multimillionaires. This goes beyond a single athlete or sport. It's about turning the entire discourse surrounding female athletes around. Sharpe's comments are akin to a wake-up call, compelling us to face our prejudices and reconsider our presumptions about the potential of women in sports. To be honest, when individuals such as Shannon Sharpe voice their opinions, they get heard. His opinions have power and can influence the storyline. Not only is he defending one athlete by endorsing Clark in women's basketball, but he is also creating opportunities for numerous more players.